Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an incredibly special edition of the Part of the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast, as we are joined this evening by two incredibly special players that made a huge impression at the Bescot last weekend in the fourth round of the Women's FA Cup. Joining us this evening are Laura Barrett and goalkeeper George Hunt. Welcome to you both. How are you?
Just about got over last week, I think. I'm going to say I was still sore this Sunday, so...
Absolutely, still got the bruises.
Yeah, because you were playing yesterday as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
In a different cup.
Different cup.
Yeah. See, it's just all the cups, one after the other.
yeah. Playing teams better than us as well, so...
Higher leagues, yeah.
No, not at all. Hey, we've come to the conclusion you guys are the best team, so that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
We do. Really do. Hopefully this pod will really show that. So just a massive thank you again for making time to kind of come on and talk to us. Because like I said before we started recording, your club, team, supporters, everyone made such an incredible impression. And yeah, we just really wanted to get to know you a little bit more. Of course, we're all here to talk about the match against Aston Villa Women. But before that, we just wanted to get a bit more information about yourselves, the club, especially for people maybe who haven't really heard much about the club before, who may be quite new to this. So Laura, we'll start with you if that's all right. Bristol Rovers are quite a new team in the grand scheme of things, aren't you? So how would you describe the club? Can you give us a bit of the club history, please?
We've last season they got promoted into Tier 4 in the National League Southwest. Doing really well this season, considering we've just been promoted, but it's kind of like a new group of players with a great atmosphere. They had to, when they formed, they had to start kind of right at the bottom, and it was kind of based with the community trust and built their way up from Tier 7. And then this season, when they got promoted to Tier 4, they joined with the men rather than the community trust. So now it's kind of one whole club looking after both teams, which is really great. And he's kind of seen the benefits from that. And then, I got to the fourth round of the FA Cup this season. So
not doing too bad then?
No. Season's so fun.
It's been great, actually. It's so good.
I was going to say, George, what's it been like since the clubs kind of have come under the wing of the men's as well? I know you said you can see the benefits, but how has it changed for those who may not be familiar with kind of how that can affect things?
It's changed massively. I was part of the club when we were under the community trust as well, so I've seen both sides. And the kind of facility changes is massive. We've gone from training on an Astro, like a community Astro, twice a week, to having access to things like the men's training grounds every now and then, the men's gym, all of that kind of atmosphere, as well as playing at the men for our home games, which is just like a privilege, because for me, I'm a Bristol Rovers fan anyway.
Yeah,
I have been, like my whole family are, so to play at the men all of our home games and stuff for us is incredible, really.
You can hear it in the accent as well. She talks enough. The Bristol really come out.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the club more, do you get more Bristolian? Is it?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. If I get talking, it's all going to come out.
Can't wait then. Let's keep going. Because how long have you both played for the club now?
So I joined in the summer. So not long at all, really. But and
I've been there 3 seasons now.
3 seasons now, yeah. Because I was looking through, doing my little research and things like that, and just trying to get news in women's football in general that aren't Super League and Championship. So I was like, right, I'm going to talk about contracts, going to talk about this, talk about that. It's so hard to get the information, isn't it? Is that something you as a club have got... I was going to ask this later, I'll ask you now. As a club, is that something that they're thinking about doing, making that the women's side more accessible? Or is it something you really want to push kind of as you grow?
So I think, for me personally, since joining Rovers, kind of all the social media stuff has really gone up, especially for a team in our league. I think we're probably one of the most that post that frequently.
Yeah.
And as you kind of saw on the weekend, it has really helped us with support, people getting behind us. And like younger fans kind of knowing our names. I mean, our manager kind of jokes about being household names around here, but you kind of saw on the weekend we all had glasses with our names on, just made by fans. So I think the social media aspect has kind of helped with that, and kind of showing what we're doing, and kind of also attracting other players to kind of join the club, where you feel like you've got that professionalism and things like that. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, it adds so much fun as well. Like the media, like all of our staff actually, and especially the media team, they're all volunteers. So no one gets paid to do any of this for us. So we all have fun with it. They have ideas, we have ideas, and we all just enjoy what we do when it comes to the social media. And the fact that it's actually getting out there, and that people do start to recognise that, like all the little girls and all the fans and stuff, everyone that came up for the Villa game, it was so nice, and it's just really nice to have that kind of recognition for all the work you do put in.
Yeah, and it also captures for me like kind of what it's like, the environment that we're in. Like it probably shows me the light that I am. Like us being at weirdos.
Oh, we just have so much fun. Like what the women's post and all their social medias and stuff like that is just what it's like. We literally are just bouncing off the time having fun, because we're here because we want to be here. We're here because we love the girls and we love the club, and it's really good standards. So like to be able to put out there how much fun we're having, I think it just really reflects on us as a club really well.
Yeah, and that's again one of the elements that we really love. Like you could tell, just everyone there was there for the love of the game and just really embracing every single minute of it. Now, before we get into the match, before I hand over to Emily, last questions then. So, the club always has like a magic about it, doesn't it? So, for you both, when you were getting through all of those rounds and all of those stages, what was that anticipation like up until that point, and then the action when you did get drawn against Villa? Kind of what was it like for both of you?
Well, I don't know if you would have seen, but obviously it was drawn, like we had to play Oxford, and we knew that the next game would be Villa.
Yes,
so that game was because
why was it? Yeah, we, because of the high winds and the severe weather warnings, we couldn't.
It got cancelled. The draw happened before we played our game, and so I was watching the draw on TV, like who are we gonna get, and then it was Villa, and it was kind of a weird emotion because I was like buzzing. I was like, we're gonna play WSL, but then you kind of come back down like, actually, hang on a minute, we've got to beat Oxford, who are like near the top of the league above us. Like, can we start dreaming? Can we?
Yeah, personally, I just what have we got ourselves into? But like in the best way possible, like this can be the best thing that ever happens, and like we get this amazing experience, but it can also be like almost heartbreaking because we don't get there, because it's such a big challenge in front of us. But it was
and get into that moment when the final whistle blew against Oxford then, and you were like, oh God, we're gonna get there. Was it just kind of a, like you said, like a euphoria moment mixed with a, oh no?
Yeah, literally, like definitely made the win better than that. Oh my God, we were buzzing because it was a game of like play for your life, you know, clear every ball. I looked at the clock and I think there was 10 minutes left and we were 3-2 up. And I thought, like, we just got to give everything now, because you knew that like the opportunity to play a WSL side was there.
Yeah.
And so when it ended, like we kind of went crazy, and then we all just sat in the change and it kind of went silent, and we were like, what have we done? We've got to go and play. How is, and
the final was fair, and I think we probably celebrated like we just won the FA Cup. Yeah, honestly, because to us, like that was an achievement in itself. Like even if we didn't know who we were playing next, that was a great achievement for a new club in the league above. Playing a league above was just mental, and then to know that we earned ourselves a spot to play against Villa, and that we weren't worried about the game or anything like that, but we were just like, we get to experience this and we've earned it.
Yeah, I think that was the best thing. Like when we got to Villa on Sunday as well, we were kind of like, we deserve to be here. We've earned our spot now. It hasn't just come out. Like we've had to beat Oxford, even knowing what was coming next. So, and they would have wanted it as well. I think it added pressure to both sides, because Oxford are thinking, well, actually, if we win, beat a team below, we get to play Villa. So, yeah,
they did want it as well. They fought for it. They made us work for it for sure. Especially in those last, like Laura said, like in those last 10 minutes, I'd say we spent the majority of it around the edge of our 18-yard box defending for our lives.
Literally,
I would have changed it though.
I just fell to the floor at the end. I think I had like cramp in both legs and just like hit in the throat. But
every time we scored, I just sat down and
how is it happening?
It's like we're doing it. It's actually working.
Sorry. Hi Laura, hi George. Would it have made it any more special if at Villa Park? Or were you just buzzing to be playing Villa and it didn't really matter where?
So I think when we first knew that we were going through, we were like, oh, we're going to play Aston Villa at Villa Park, like buzzing, and everybody thought that to start with. And then, I mean, I think the initial reaction when we found out that it couldn't be at Villa Park, we were a bit gutted, but you've got to take it into perspective, like, we were still going to be playing WSL players. We were still playing internationals. And I was kind of excited that we found out it was 5:45 because under the lights, I think kind of just makes it a little bit more special as well.
Yeah. We made a day of it as well, like as a club. So like we were obviously partly gutted that we couldn't play at Villa Park because some of us have never played there. Some of us had played there. So it'd be nice to return with that kind of group of girls. But at the same time, we were like, okay, but it's a later kickoff. We're going to probably make this an experience as a club. So like we on the coach, like we went all out with it because we knew that it was something that we might not ever get to do again, like with the coach, with that kind of team prep. So the later kickoff and even being able to play in a completely new place against unbelievable players it was enough.
Also, we did have work on the Monday, so the late kickoff really came me up for the day. I was waking up at 6 a.m. and getting to work for 7:30 with 35-year-olds. I was like, I've literally just been playing Rachel Daly.
Yeah.
And you're here.
I was the Monday morning, woke up and I was like, I like it. Yeah.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
You think they give you the morning off, you know? Just
you would have thought
nothing.
The shirt is proof, guys. I did it, you know. Okay, one more question from me then I will hand over to Emily. So the excitement of drawing Aston Villa, but what were your thoughts, you know, of Aston Villa as a team before you got there? Because we're not exactly performing great at the moment. So was there still, you know, a slight thing of, if we get them on the counter, maybe we can make something work. What were your thoughts going into it?
Well, especially after Oxford, we were kind of like, that's what we caught them on the counter 3 times, but we definitely defended and caught them. So, I mean, I'm massively positive. I was going around like all week, like, guys, we're going to beat Villa. Like, yeah, it's the magic of the cup. Everyone loves a cup, sir. Like, oh, let's go. Honestly, we'll defend for our lives. We want it more. We'll just catch you on the counter. You know, internationals or not, we've got the heart here. Like, we're going to win.
We were also, like, unsure what squad they were going to play. Because we were, like, looking at ourselves like, they don't need to play, like, their best squad against us, which would be a bit gutting because, like, you want to play the likes of Rachel Daly and Jordan Dobbs and everyone like that. But, you know, if they play their second string or, like,
here we go.
mental, like, this delusion in our you're like, you never know. But when we saw the day, it didn't really cross my mind.
What, and we were going to win? No. I was convinced until minute 2. You conceded in the first minute. Yeah, you saw Thomas fall over in the first minute. I thought, girls, this is it. This is our luck. We're in for it now. They're slipping all over the face. Head's gone.
When we won the toss and it went putted, we actually spent the first 30 seconds in their half. I was like, oh, you never know, here we go. And then we conceded. I was like, here we are, we're home. Yeah.
But I like to call it the murmurs of the Midlands because we were setting up in training and they were going like, oh, can you just pretend to be Rachel Daly? Can you pretend to be Nunes? Like, all of these things. Yeah. And they were saying, we're hearing that they're going to be playing their first team. We were like, no, don't be silly. And then obviously, I mean, I don't know that much about it, but the situation with the manager, and I was thinking, they need to come on and actually prove a point because if they don't win here, like, you're in some serious trouble. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, losing to a tier 4 team.
Yeah.
So maybe they will go with a full squad. And obviously they did. Saw it in the change room. Someone was like, guys, have you seen the lineup? I was like, no, don't worry about it. And then I was like, oh my God.
Do you know what? I didn't even know the lineup until we walked into the tunnel and I looked over and I was like, oh, it's Rachel Daly. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I thought, here we go.
To be fair, we weren't expecting that lineup either. So
God, yeah, no.
I literally stood there, I was like,
we kind of took it as a compliment as well. I know, as I mentioned, the situation that you guys were in, but for you to play like a almost full strength team against us, we're like, well, they've given us the respect here, like.
Yeah. And what more can you ask for? Like, they don't know much about us in the sense of there's not much to know, because like you said before, like trying to find anything out about teams in below the championship is like near impossible. So I guess they just went in the way they play any other game, which is like it's what they can do, and fair play to them.
But we thank you, because it was great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Fantastic experience. And let's hear more about it. So Emily, I'm handing over to you. Handing over the reins. Let's find out more about the match.
Hi guys. So sort of touched on it already, but like, what were your expectations of how the match was gonna play out? Did you go in with a game plan of just defend and, like you said, try and get them on the counter? Was that the thought?
Really?
Yeah.
We were just gonna, all you can do is literally put yourself on the line, and especially like a goalkeeper and defender, like that's our entire jobs, and we're willing to do that no matter what. There was within the first minute, I think, when they got the corner that they scored their first goal from, I'm there blocking like fully out, and Laura's just slid in front of me.
Yeah, I thought, here we go. I think Shannon,
we've got up and celebrated again like we've scored. That was amazing. And then it kind of gets like, oh, we've given them a corner.
Yeah, their corners are like basically penalties against us. So here we go.
So like that kind of mentality though of putting your body on the line, we were going to go with that regardless of what was happening. And we also knew as a squad, regardless of the score of the situation, we were doing that for 90 minutes, or as much as our legs would let us do it.
Yeah.
So our mentality was give it everything. Enjoy
what happened. Yeah, and I had a text from my dad before the game, being like, just go and enjoy the experience. Like, he obviously had every faith in us, but I was like, even if the goals start going in, like, just keep your head up. Don't get angry about it. Don't get upset at your teammates. Kind of just enjoy it as a squad. And I think that's exactly what we did. Even the celebrations at the end, you would have thought we would have just won the FA Cup, but that's what it felt like to us.
It did. It felt like we did achieve something. And personally, I was like, I just want to keep it under 10.
Yeah.
Keep it under 10. And then they scored the 9th, and I was like,
10 minutes ago.
Keep it under 10 for 10 minutes. Honestly, that was when I was like, I had something to fight for in that sense.
Well, I've had quite a few people coming up to us saying, like, your team spirit was great. Like, you kept going, you kept your heads held high. And, like, I don't know, Chastity Grant came up to me at the end of the game, and she was laughing. I was like, what are you laughing for? And she was like, I literally caught the ball with my toenail to knock it off Gabby Nunez's foot, and I celebrated. It was literally like 88th minute, and I think I celebrated like I just scored. But I think just keeping it under 10, which we obviously have high ambitions, but I think when the game started, you kind of came back down to earth and realised like the opposition were against. I think someone worked out 250 international caps between them, and there's me and George rocking up from work, working on Friday, going to work on Monday. So
yeah, like the support was just amazing. Like the entire game, I don't think we would be able to drop our heads even if we tried, because you could hear everyone that travelled down for us the entire game. And if they even thought for a second you were dropping your head, they'd start chanting your name, which we don't get that very often.
Yeah, no.
So to us, it was like, wow. So like, I think even if we thought about dropping our heads, you look over and see people that you care about, your friends and your family, and be like, well, they're here to enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah. As I said, up until that 1 minute in, I was convinced we were going to win. Even seeing the lineup, I went to sleep. I was like, it's just our day.
Yeah. But that's what you've got to do, isn't it? Just have that. It's going to work. Yeah, absolutely.
The delusion. She's like, I was like, okay.
I could just do this. I felt it.
Laura, specifically to you. So you play central defence. Yeah. So like you said, you wanted to play against likes of Rachel Daly and Gabby Nunez. You mentioned before we came on that about how bruised and stuff you were afterwards.
Yeah. Tiring is not one for a better word. But like, it was an amazing experience, and I already think, even from playing yesterday, like I learned so much in that 90 minutes of football. But I was mentally and physically so tired. Like the speed of play, their like physicality, everything about it was like a whole new level. But I enjoyed like every minute of it. Yeah, I think it was like a challenge, and hell of a challenge at that. But like I was stuck to Gabby Nunes for like 90 minutes, and I was like, I just remember so clearly blocking Jordan Nobbs' shot. I was like, yes. Tackling Rachel Daly and being marked, like trying to mark her on a corner. I think there's a picture I've got, and they've like locked arms around me. Like trying to mark her was an impossible task. I was like, girls, I've got her, don't worry. Oh, Rachel, yeah, that's me. Next thing I know, like the ball's in the back of the net, I hadn't even moved. So I was like, yeah, it was great. And when you did make those challenges, like we were saying about the first minute, like I celebrated everyone, and it's an experience I'll never forget. Like it's definitely different from what we play against. 100%. Like the speed of play, but like mentally checking everywhere. Like I was convinced I had everyone, and then Daly would run into the box late. Like she was everywhere on that pitch. Stuck to Gabby Nunes. Like I was like, you cannot get the ball. When I asked her in the second half, I was like, have you scored yet? I was thinking, it's my player hasn't scored. And she was like, oh, cool, yeah. Don't worry about it. But like, it's something I will never forget. And as I say, I genuinely believe I've learned quite a lot from it, just to kind of pick up the speed of my game as well and kind of anticipate what's happening. But the Tuesday after, Monday, I was like mentally drained trying to teach. I was like, guys, I'm going to have to sit down. Sorry. And then Tuesday, like, the DOMs hit him, my body was like in bits. We went to training on Tuesday, and I was like, sorry guys.
That's so good.
Yeah. But also, like, I was so tired mentally because we were playing Villa. I felt like a celebrity the week before. I was like, I don't need to do any work. So like Monday came, like, I am so behind on everything. But like it definitely brought you back down to earth. Like Sunday playing those players and then having to get back in, like, morning. Yeah, morning everyone.
Getting the coffees in for everyone, like, yep.
And George, just going back to, obviously you're in goal, and you mentioned about all the international caps across the squad. So like, it's not just the threat from necessarily like the number 9. You're making saves from shots from everywhere. I think, was it 6 saves recorded? You made some cracking stops. And sorry, Laura, George was my player of the match. Sorry.
Okay, she was my player of the match too.
I'm a player of the match. I'm so happy.
I was just curious, but like, how was the match for you? And did you have a favourite save that you made?
I went into it like I want to have a moment for myself, in the sense of I want to make an impact in some way, even if it's just the smallest thing or just something where I feel like I've had an impact on the game and I wasn't completely getting ran over, because like they are incredible, obviously. But there were a few saves that I kind of shocked myself a little bit, and I was like, how have I got there? There was a 1-on-1, I think, from the right hand side that's come in, and God, she hit that hard.
It was Leon, I think.
Yeah, it was. And I've watched the video back. I've saved it because it's gone above me, and I've saved it, and it literally throws me backwards. Fair play, but I've saved it, and then there was another one outside the box from Rachel Daly, and it actually came with your shin.
It did hit my shin pad.
She shot one way, and I've seen it hit Laura's shin pad, and I thought, because it's changed direction there. And it still got there, and I still managed to parry it away. So just to say that I faced these people, let alone made any saves against them. And I think I saw that they had
40.
Yeah, 40 shots recorded.
40 shots, yeah.
I mean, I know it was only 6 saves, but they only scored 9.
Yeah, exactly. And what they kind of, in our league or playing the league above, like, in all credit to George, we kind of, if we can, force them back. If they can take shots from outside the box, like, that's absolutely fine, because if they've got to get past the defence, but then they've got to get past George. Like, that's how we work. If you've got to take a shot, you've got to let them from outside the box. But, like, you know, against these players, letting them shoot from outside the box. We still had George behind us, who made hell of a saves.
I conceded one from outside the box.
No, that's what I mean.
My record's still clean about that, to be fair. But yeah, like, our kind of strategy is we back our defence and me in goal of outside the box. Like, let them shoot outside the box all day. It's just like, so that moment was incredible for me to back that up for myself. And then a 1v1, which is obviously like not working in my favour, let alone if it's an international and on the end of the ball or not. So yeah, there were so many. I think there was a header in the second half as well. that I've managed to parry out. So all of it was just incredible. Just to think that I've just impacted the game, because as a goalkeeper, I can't win the game. I can save the game. So to impact the game in some way was just, it's incredible. And to do it with everyone as well, and like us as friends, and like especially the defensive line and me, like we get on so well. And me and Laura joke all the time that we don't actually have to communicate when we're working together.
We
did it yesterday. Like we played a team above yesterday, and I think there were 2 or 3 occasions Laura just headed it back to me, but I just knew she was going to do it. It's just to play with those people and know that we're always on the same page, and regardless of what happens, we've done our best. It was incredible.
Yeah, so stats wise then, might as well get those in. Villa had 40 shots, 15 on target, 72% possession, but you know what? Rovers, 2 shots, 2 on target, so really that's 100%.
Basically, we won the FA Cup.
It's a really good shot.
Tried, yeah. I really thought that was going to be a moment to celebrate. I already had the knee slide planned in my head.
I went up to her after game. I went to Meg, and I was like, "Why'd you try and chip her?" She was like, "I couldn't." I was just laughing. We were both laughing about it, but why not?
Honestly, that second attempt, I was like, "That's going in," and none of us would have been mad about it at all. Because honestly, so well deserved. And I think just before we hand over to Tracey for this last bit, we've seen a lot of teams from 3rd, 4th, 5th tier, and it gets to about that 70-80 minute mark and the fatigue starts to set in and that kind of thing. But you guys were fighting right until that very last minute, and like that's again part of why we were so impressed, because it just didn't stop. You didn't falter, and it was it was that fuel, that fire kind of coming through.
Yeah, we're known for our last kind of goals.
Yeah.
Like this season, we've had way too many for my comfortability, but we're kind of known that we don't stop until the whistle goes. Yeah. And we've had a few occasions like that, so we knew as a team that we weren't going to stop, and the fight was still there always.
But it's actually so nice to hear that like it's kind of been seen, like recognised, because if I'm honest, like I know it was 9-0, but after 10-15 minutes, we were 3-0 down, and I was like, this isn't slowing. This is not slowing down. And like it so much worse. And as George said, at 9-0, and I looked at the clock and it's 78, 79 minutes, I thought the next aim is to keep it under 10. And that was the achievement that we wanted, because I watched the United game against West Brom the day before.
Yes.
I think they kept a bit 1-1, like
I think up until about 5.
And then the last bit they kind of just powered them on, and seven goals went in. So I mean, I think that's something that we took with us from the game to show. I mean, you've got to have perspective on these things. Like you have to recognise we were sad to lose. Obviously we hate losing, but like when you're playing those players, you've got to take what you can, and I think to keep going, as people keep telling us, was definitely something that we will keep and kind of use for our own league and cups.
Yeah, it was great. You've got to credit everyone, even the subs that came on. Like, we just fought to the last minute. Like, it's going to end eventually. We're just going to keep going.
As I was watching the clock, you might see my eyes flapping up. I'm so pleased.
Every minute, I'm like,
I am blowing. I was like, how many minutes? Please stop running. I think Dominic across the pitch. I was like, I'm not letting you go. And then they went like, there was one bit. This is my highlight. I've been telling people that I did outpace Gabby Nunes. However, there is some dispute over it. But the ball went down and I cut across, and I thought my legs were already gone at about 10 minutes in.
Absolutely. I had 25 goal kicks, if you want to talk about stats. My legs were killing me, and because my legs were on fire, and I'm surprised they were still going up in the air by that point.
It's pure adrenaline, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And the adrenaline come down. We were all like, afterwards, we're like, we're sick.
Yeah.
It's like the worst kind of jet lag, just completely.
Honestly, that's what it felt like, because the whole week, the whole build-up, like, it's not to be dramatic, but I felt like a celebrity. Like, I had ITV coming into work, we were on the radio, we turned up to training on the Tuesday, we had BBC, ITV there.
Wow.
And so, like, we were just... It's just crazy when you put it into perspective. I'm literally raced from work to get to training on time, whack the boots on.
You walk out and like, that's a big camera, and it looks like this.
We don't have time to get ready.
Like, gotta give us a warning, guys. Come on.
Because you said you guys wanting to keep it below 10. And I was just going to sort of say credit again to you guys for doing that, because that was towards the end of the match. You know, from a Villa perspective, we were like, "Come on, let's get 10," and you managed to, you did it essentially. So
we did, yeah, we did, yeah. We want 10, we want 10. Bless them, our fans are going, we want 1,
Yeah.
we want 1. And that made me giggle so much. I was like, actually, I want 1, but I also don't want 10. So,
yeah. I think, as you say, like I saw Exeter Sunderland, who's like a championship team, Sunderland,
Yes.
wasn't it? And that was 7-1 or something.
7-1, yeah.
I'm going to take the 9 now. I thought about it a bit more.
9. I took the 9 all day.
I was like,
That's it. I wasn't.
I was still convinced we were going to win. So
What was funny as well, we obviously were under the impression that we were conceding and things like that, and we made it. I was under the impression and us as like a defensive unit, we kind of made a little bit of a joke of like, oh, can we take it turns for people at back the net?
yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh, I thought Rachel Daly did it once.
She did.
She did it once every time. No one else helped me do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was actually good.
She picked out 3 times when she was offside. I've never seen someone more fuming. Like,
That made me giggle.
she said to the ref, she shouted, "Ref, I've got a wedding to pay for here. It's a win from me." And I was like, wow. I was just laughing, like clapping. Like,
It just shows you though the fact that like she was still laughing by like every time it was off, because you can guarantee if that was in a league game that would have been a different situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, no, it's all their standards. Like, they were still shouting at each other, and I was like, "Love, you're 5-0 up."
But we went out at a gig Tuesday.
Yeah. One of them was like, "Ref, they're time wasting." I was like, "You think we're time wasting? We just want to catch up."
Honestly, put the ball down so slow for every goal kick.
Yeah.
And listen, the ball girls, they did a great job. That all went out. There was a boy in front of me. I was thinking,
Please, but it is, again, mad. Like, I was in Australia watching Rachel Daly playing the World Cup final. I was at Wembley watching her in the Euros final, and now I'm there, stood next to her, marking her. I was like, wow. I don't think I'll ever get over that.
oh, absolutely not.
No.
And the photos we've got from the moment, so they're the things that hold the memory. It's like,
Yeah.
over the past week, we've had more and more photos come through from our side and from the FA side and stuff like that. And we keep looking back at these photos when we're all together and be like, oh, do you remember? Like, oh my God, that was that was amazing. I think this time we did this or whatever. And credit to like Rachel Daly and all of them. They were lovely.
Can't really like my Insta story. Shout out. Thanks.
There you go. Made it.
And then she saw my other one.
Yeah, she did. She viewed it. Yeah.
Now she's viewing them all the time.
Is she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Best mates now.
Yeah. I'm over for 2.
Yeah, I'm replaced. Brilliant.
Well, you both begin with a G, so really that counts, right? George, Gabby, that's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, she's not going to bounce off like this, is she?
Oh, I love you too. I'm so glad we come on.
Yeah, we pick the most chaotic people to do this, and fair play.
No, we do. And speaking of that atmosphere, that chaos, we're going to hand over to Tracey for our last little segment.
Yeah, Laura, George, absolutely amazing. Like, it was one of the best. I'm not even saying it. It was one of the best matches that I've been to, and one of the main reasons, obviously, watching you guys and beating you 9-0. That was great.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
We did it for the fans. We just did it for your reading.
I said it last week on the pod last week. What really made it for me was your support. The fans, your fans, they were absolutely phenomenal. We went into that game, really raring to go. Yeah, we're going to get them kind of thing. But by the end of it, because your support, they were just absolutely amazing. We were laughing and joking with them, and I think the away allocation sold out. How do you think that support impacted the game?
It was everything. I think when there were chances you could have dropped your head, you like I said, you physically couldn't, because you could hear them chanting, and you could look over and you could see the people that you care about over there, and even families intertwining. So like our families sitting next to each other, or vice versa. So like, or all of the other girls. So to be able to share that moment, like for me, I just was so lucky to be able to share it with everyone and with the people on the pitch as well. to hear it and to hear them chant your name and to hear them support, like we don't get that every week.
No,
we get a good amount, and we're so thankful for it. But to have that, probably the biggest games of our career, was even.
I think that's what made it as well. Like, you would have seen the celebrations at the end. Like, I joke that we celebrated like we won the FA Cup. I kid you not. Like, I mean, I probably will never win it. But I'm going to say that's the closest. I'm really.
I never.
It's next year. But like, that's the closest I think we'll get to feeling like we've won something like that. And just seeing everybody like
enjoy it,
having our names on glasses. It sounds so small, but like we don't get that. People being like Laura, can you come and have a photo? People I didn't like. Not everybody we knew that. Like,
no,
and it's all our family, and so like. My dad, bless him, he lives in Cornwall, so it takes him about 2.5 hours just to get to watch me at home. And he travels every week, and like to see him up there still for like one of my biggest games, like all my family that were there, they were so proud. Everyone was so proud of us, and they were saying, there's a little 5-year-old in my class that came as well and to watch, and she's like, that's teacher.
Yeah,
that's right. Like next day, there's a little picture. She walked out as my mascot. And Rachel Daly's shaking my hand, but she's kind of looking at me and not at Rachel. And they sent me a picture saying like, even when they play like European champions, she's still looking at her teacher. Like, that's how proud she is. So I think like, the different people in the crowd, and just to keep singing like that, wasn't it? Like, I go to a lot of football matches, and like it was just,
you don't always
for that to be you when you're on the pitch, like. Every header, every clearance we made, they were behind us, and I just think it made the day even more special. And I think, to be honest, that's why I was so buzzing about.
That's why I just enjoyed it. And like, there's some photos at the end of I don't know how I did it because my legs were absolutely shot, but got Laura on my shoulders at the end just so she could see people further at the back, and like so that we could celebrate together. And like, we've got photos of that memory. There's literally a photo of her, she's on my shoulders and she's like rubbing my head and she's laughing at me, but like, it's a great photo. And then I've also got a photo of you was talking to someone in the crowd, and my mum is laughing at something you said, obviously. It's so funny. It's just those little things, and like I've got photos of me hugging my family and hugging those kind of friends and seeing all those people. And all fairness to like BBC Bristol as well, they sent someone up to do radio interviews, because on theirs they do a segment called Having a Gas about Bristol Rovers. And my family were interviewed on it, and they were on there, and they're just saying how proud they are. That's everyone. Like, it's not just me. They're not just there to support me. And I think that's across the board. Like, everyone was there not to support one individual person. They were there to support everyone, and you could really feel it.
And they had a great time as well. Like, the people I've spoken to, like, it was the best day out. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, we're going to come and watch more games now. And I was like, I promise you, sometimes we do win. Like, it's not always
we have about 11 games on me.
So we're doing all right. So, like, it was just, as you say, it was amazing. And even, like, to me, I heard some of the Villa fans shouting, like, not abuse, but, you know, I was loving it.
In my ear, in that
when they were shouting, I was like, yeah, come on then, give it.
And then at one point they started singing Hot to Go, and I don't know what words they put in there instead, but I could just hear the tune, and I was like, focus on it.
Yeah, so they sing that for Sam Stangelo, so it's Dangelo. So it's
in my head, I was definitely still in the goal singing to myself, going, hey.
But yeah, as you say, like, that really made it, and everybody being so proud.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been the same if we couldn't share it with the people on pitch.
They've followed us, and like everything. They go through every up and down with us. Like,
and they make it easier. Like, if parents are there, obviously for support. And we had like a nice little thing with the coaching staff before, where they were like, you know, think when you're walking out, think of all those people that got you to where you are. Like, I mean, I remember my dad like picking me up from school and then driving me straight to a training session and then straight to another training session, and then like his entire weekend for taking up with me doing different sports, and paying for these things. Like, for them, was all worth it because we got to share that moment with them.
That really comes together.
No, it's really wholesome, wasn't it?
It's a roller coaster of emotions, this pod. It really is.
It really is. This is our daily life.
So this might be a silly question. Do you have a favourite moment from the tournament so far?
I'm what? It's either got to be the Oxford celebrations, because that was a win and a full win,
And the reward.
yeah, the reward for it, and or the Villa celebrations, like that. It was just to share that with, like, the Oxford one was lovely because we shared it mainly with the players in the squad.
And my dad. He was there.
Your dad was there, yeah. Like, that was more of a squad moment of, like, we've shared that with each other. Like, if you watch the videos of it, like, God, we celebrate, like I said, like, we've won the FA Cup. But the Villa one, in comparison, that celebration was with everyone. Like, you celebrate with your team, obviously, as well, but you celebrate that with family. So to celebrate with squad, because we know, like Laura said right at the start, we are pretty new as a squad all together. There's a few original people, but, like, if you want to put it into perspective, Laura only joined in the summer, and
look at me.
Rubbing shoulders with the stars there.
You see them every day.
literally every day. So, like, and like, our connection is brilliant, but this is not just between us, it's across the entire squad. So, like, to share that with brand new people that you feel like you've known for years and years and years was brilliant, and then share it with them, your family, their family, those people that are important to everyone. They've got to be those two moments for me.
Yeah, Oxford winning goal was definitely a highlight.
I just sit down and a little tear came down. I'm not,
And I think, I'm trying not to say, like, the big Villa, because I want it to be a bit more like, oh yeah, but I think just, like, I think I went a bit blank walking out, and then I was, like, shaking hands, and suddenly, like, Rachel Daly's there, Jordan Nobbs, Gavin Nunes. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I felt that.
Like, how is this actually real?
Mm-hmm.
How is, like, little old me walking out against Villa, like, thinking we're going to win. But I think some of the rounds previous, to be honest,
We didn't have,
if we think right back, we left it late on some of those games where we should have been winning easily as well. The first round, we won Charlie.
No, it was Sholing. Was it 1-0?
Yeah, and we scored in, like, the 92nd minute, something like that.
Like, last minute winners when they.
Yeah, Sherborne, we went to 4-3. And that was
Matt, we got some trajectory. We won 4-5-0.
Yeah, but yeah, my night.
I mean, I've said mine.
Are you allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Highlight. Rachel Daly told me to get the fuck off now when I was marking her. Forever. Forever. Hold on. Can I show you a picture as well?
Yeah, of course. Oh, I love that.
They had locked their arms around me. I was smiling because I was like, I am this close to Rachel Daly.
That was a threat. They needed two of them to just.
I know.
Yeah.
Proud of him today. Honestly, it's because I'm 6 foot. Yeah, I think the whole experience, and I think that's just, like, the beauty of the FA Cup, because you could draw, like, anyone and you always wish for it, but, like, it does happen, and we're there to, like, kind of prove that.
I have a funny highlight about you. We're in the tunnel because Laura has this thing. She's 6 foot tall. She's not 5'10". We're in the tunnel about to walk out. I'm right at the front, behind Ree, our captain, and you're further back. And all I hear was, "Girls, I think I'm the tallest one here." I was.
I was a bit nervous.
And I'm like, "You're having me on."
Nervous. We were about to go out. I thought I'd just make light of the situation.
Like, even in these big moments, nothing changes, and I was crying. It was so funny. And then we'll walk out, and we've got to be so serious. And I'm just thinking, Laura's just happy that she's the tallest one in the tunnel.
1-0. I was still thinking of
1-0, and I'm like, no.
But yeah, I think the whole run of the FA Cup specifically answered.
Just the experience, everything. Great way to go out as well, in my opinion.
You just you said about the magic of the FA Cup, that we were in the stands, Tracey and I, like, at the end of the match, and seeing you guys come over to the supporters, and that whole everything that happened after the final whistle, that sort of just summed up the magic of the FA Cup for me.
It really is, because it gives you the opportunity, doesn't it? Like, where else could can that happen? Like we will never meet. Like
No,
so
I don't think I can do it again. I don't know.
no, hydrating.
Hey, give it a few seasons, you'll be up. We have faith.
Yeah.
Championship next.
I won't be in the team then, but yeah, I'm sure the club.
Honestly, our manager has adopted this kind of phrase throughout the whole thing, and we would take the absolute make out of him for it, but he kept saying it's going to be a cup set, it's going to be a cup set. Every game we played, every game, and we're like, what is that word? And then we're just saying it. We found ourselves saying it the whole time, and then we get to the Villa game, we're like, we're going to cause cup set. Like, we're not.
But I think you're right. Like that is the real magic of the cup. It just provides the opportunity. Like I think Fulham were tier 5 as well, playing kind of championship. So it's just great, isn't it?
It was just the best experience, and it was also like it's a bit surreal going from that to going back into the league games, and we need to make sure that we're still obviously switched on. Like we're aiming high with this season, so we need to keep that momentum and not get distracted by what's happened. But if nothing comes out of this season, that is more than enough.
Is that, we saw you guys in a huddle with the manager at the end, and you all did like a group cheer. Was that what he was touching on there about sort of taking momentum and the feeling into the league?
Yeah, he's very level-headed, even if we can get a little bit above ourselves.
Motivational speech.
Oh, do you know what? He's fantastic at them as well.
So
we do all of the like mindset things. We were eating Maltesers.
Yeah, we
like what do you call it? Picturing what you're gonna do.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Basically, we had to put a Malteser in our mouth. We're not allowed to eat it, mind. And then we had to hold it to our eyes. What is that word?
Envision? Is that a word?
Yeah, envision, yeah.
What we were going to do
in this game, and tries ever is dead silent, and he's talking to you. It's like a sleep podcast kind of thing.
Yeah,
motivation one. He's so good at it.
But we always do kind of like family of me, family of the three. So I think we was just saying that, and we also got the fans to kind of share it with us, like those that are there every week. He said we couldn't have done this kind of without you, but he's also like, okay, this is great, soak it up, but also we've got a league game to go where we could be pushing second, couldn't we? So
yeah, if all goes well. And like I think the family chat we do it at the end of training, we do it before a game, we do it after a game. It is like Laura said, we all come together and we say family, because I think that is the overall feel in the entire club. Like that just encaptures the way we are with each other, the environment, what we do for each other, like the amount we put on the line for each other and the amount of work we put in for each other. It has that family feel through and through.
Yeah, and that really comes across. Like again, we absolutely loved it.
Just one more question. It's a bit of a double-barreled question. What made you start playing football? Both of you. What made you start playing football? How old were you when you started playing, and what was the inspiration to start? And also as well, how does it feel to be a role model for young girls and an inspiration now for young girls who want to play football? Or look up to you as a pioneering woman in the world.
Honoured to be, complimented like that. But so I think I started playing football when I was about 4 or 5. My brother used to play, although he wasn't that into it now, but he did used to play, and all I wanted to do was just like go on and play as well, like have the ball at my feet, just running around. Sounds so cliche, don't I? But it was actually true. Like I just wanted to play football. Obviously I'm 26 now, which isn't that old, but like there was no girls teams around. There was no one playing in school. So when I was in primary school, I was kind of playing with the boys still, and then I joined a boys football team. But I'd still be playing in school. I'd go and play netball on the court in my school, and then I'd have to run up halfway through to go and play in the boys team. So I just kind of trained with them, and obviously I think that really does build the foundation of like kind of understanding the game, especially then when there was no other opportunity. But like you kind of got that level of acceptance. Like back then in primary school, when I was getting into the boys like first team, and they kind of just like, yeah, come on my team in the playground, And I think like I know people say it now, but there just was no opportunity. There was no other girl in my school who was playing football. And so, like, with breaking stereotypes, I used to turn up to ballet with dirty knees, and my mum used to bring a flannel and, like, wipe them off. And people would be looking at me so strange, or, like, what have you been playing? My mum would be like, she been playing football. And I just, like, really? Like, why? It just wasn't a thing then. I was the only girl in the league as well when I was playing for the boys. They used to be like, oh, you're in that team with the girl in it. And, like, people say these stories, but it was true. Like, I did live through it. My dad had to kind of just, like, he always just stood away from it because he was like, I don't want to listen to it. Like, she's out there playing a game. And then you get to, was it 12 then? And I had to leave the boys team. So I kind of went to, like, a centre of excellence then. But I think, when you're on your story, Freya. Just repeat me.
Sorry. No, don't be. Yeah, for me, I started playing football way later than you. I started when I was like 9. Just very goalkeeper. What have you know? I always wanted to be there. Honestly, I think I went in goal because I was just a bit nuts. Like, I have no sense of fear or danger. And I'm an only child, so it would just be me and my dad, and I'd want to go out and play with my dad, and I'd go in goal, and I used to have to go at him because I tell him he wasn't trying hard enough, and he was like, I am, you're in the way, like, you're getting there. And so I started when I was like 9, and I'm only 23, but it's the same thing. So, like, I was the only girl in school, and I used to, like you said, feel a sense of pride when the boys were like, oh, can you go and goal for our team? And I was like, yeah, okay. And I'd, like, you take, like, that kind of privilege, wouldn't you? And I'd do the same thing where I was playing, you know, hockey or netball or cricket, and then I'd go and play football, and I did it all, but I started really late, and I was lucky enough to go straight into a girls' team. But I also didn't have the opportunities to, like, have a role model, or I wasn't ever put into, like, an academy or a centre of excellence or anything like that, because I just wasn't offered that. And I think that does come from the female kind of side of it, because it wasn't as known and it wasn't as big and there wasn't as many opportunities. So for me to get in to the level we're playing at now, as much as it's tier 4 for us, it's incredible, and we're so lucky to be there. Yeah, and we worked for it because we didn't have that chance.
Yeah, it's like a known sport now. You play football, you don't have to say, like, like, a bit embarrassed. Well, I wasn't embarrassed, but I did have to be like, yeah, like, I played football. Yeah, I think being at Wembley when we won the Euros, that was a moment that really, like, now we're at Wembley winning, and people are watching, like, we're sold out Wembley, like, and even for me, there were no girls' teams. Like, how is that? It's come so far, and I know we all keep talking about it, but we really should, because it's crazy, like, how many people are now watching it and coming to support, and, like, it's so good that we get to live through that now and have this opportunity. It's just, and to see, like, how much opportunity younger girls have now, I think it's just amazing. Like, especially working in a school, like, as you said, to answer your question, they do look up to you, and they see you playing football. And I know teachers have come up to me where they're having, like, a lesson on, like, stereotypes or things like this. And I think one of the questions is, like, can women play football? And everybody in our school would definitely say yes, because they're like, well, Laura Barrett does. Like, it's just a known thing now, and inspiring them to play. I think it's amazing, seeing as though we didn't have, I didn't have a proper role model. We just played because we enjoyed it. Yeah, and it wasn't, you couldn't really go much further, especially if you're from, I was from Cornwall, like, and weren't any opportunities. So it's just amazing how many academies and how far people can go, and just to have a full-time job out of it, that was not a possibility. I want to be a footballer when I grow up. Like, that wasn't an option. So I think when we look back on it, I do kind of feel honoured that I can be in that position to inspire others to go and play football. So yeah,
I find it really hard to believe. Like, from like Laura said, we didn't have any role models. Like, I personally couldn't think of one person at that age that I thought, oh, I want to be like them, because I didn't fit, because it was either men's football or something like that. So I find it really hard to believe that people look up to us like that, because in my head, I'm just a PE teacher that enjoys playing football. And sometimes I'm okay at it, but, like, I find that to be a role model for the girls is exceptional, but I also find that in my school, to be a role model for the boys, like, I'm the only PE teacher in my school, and I'm a female PE teacher, and the boys come up to me and they'll talk to me about football constantly. Like, that's the first thing they say to me. I'm like, hold on, I'm trying to teach. But like, to earn their respect when they've got so many role models, and to be able to influence them and them, be interested in the women's game because of us, and for the girls to feel comfortable to challenge the boys at lunchtime because they want to go play football.
That I love being a supporter, and sitting in the stands and seeing young boys at the game, watching the game. They've come with their mum, they've come with their dad, they're on their own, it's just them. They haven't with their little sister or anything. They're just there and they want to be there, and they've got shirts on with women's names on the back.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Amazing. It's brilliant.
It gives me goosebumps when I see it, like, genuinely.
Yeah, literally.
You see them with it. It's just amazing how much has changed in such a short amount of time. I mean, there's still plenty to do, but to see that, I think you're right, and
it's an honour, really, isn't it? To know that people view us like that, as much as I find it hard to believe, it's still like incredible that we can have that kind of influence, and I feel really lucky to be able to do that.
Even just a Villa game, when you say like you're playing Aston Villa, people are like,
eyes light up.
Double take, like, sorry, who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Villa in the FA Cup. Like, my head teacher said in assembly, I have never ever known someone to play in the FA Cup, and I was like, wow.
Honestly,
that's me. Yeah.
It's me.
I got a round of applause in this one assembly, and then he was comparing it. He was like, that's like Aston Villa playing the men's Bristol Rovers. And then some of the boys and some of the other teachers actually understood the gap between it. But still, like we're not full-time professionals. We come from work every day. Like, we've come from work to do this, and we'll always make time for it because we love it. But it's that gap, as much as it's only 3 or 4 leagues, is massive. There's still so much to do.
Yeah. But
be able to experience it and put the two kind of gaps together, just even for one game, to get the recognition, like, this is a step forward.
We could talk to you all night. We absolutely could. But yeah.
We do stop. You should see us in training. They're like, can you actually just please be quiet for a minute?
Yes. So coming to a really nice ending then. What's kind of next for the club? So back in the league next weekend?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then I was having a bit of a look at the fixtures. You're not at home until the 13th of February.
I know, shout out if anybody wants to come and watch.
Where can people come along and find you? What's it like? What can people expect when they come to a match?
So, as you say, kind of unfortunately, we haven't got a home game for a while. We played in the cup yesterday, and there were actually supporters that had just come to watch. They'd seen about Villa and then come and watch us there. But what was the question again?
What can people expect when they come to a match, and where
what are they like?
I think a good level of football. Goals.
I think so.
Yeah.
Some cracking defending.
Some really good shouting. Honestly, yeah. That's so loud when it comes to it.
But a really nice atmosphere.
Family, very family based. Like Ree, for example, she's got her 2 kids, and they come down to every game. It's very family based. It's really friendly. Like, please, like, it's great. It's a great day out, and
we're so fortunate to play at the stadium as well. It makes it feel that a bit more special, and kind of like the professionalism, isn't it? And I think for spectators as well coming to watch, it makes it feel better as well. It's a
experience, isn't it? Yeah, it isn't just our league game, but it's still we're going to a stadium to watch a women's team.
Yeah,
Bristol Rovers are my second team.
Yeah. Watch any time.
I promise you, we're hilarious when one.
You said Tracey. You said we'll have to organise a coach trip, didn't you, Tracey? Down to
definitely. If you'll have us, we're
absolutely. Please do. I think we're on a bit of a good run, aren't we? So we have really exceeded our expectations of this year, and we've got a couple of games in hand, so we could be pushing for the top half.
Absolutely, as well. And we've just also convinced them to open the bar and stuff on our match days, because as much as it's like coming down to a stadium and stuff, we wanted it to be better. So as the group of girls, we've pushed for that. So they're going to be putting more into it. So it is more of a fan experience. So please do come out.
It's a great.
I can see a travelling podcast or vlog.
100%.
coming up.
Live from the stadium, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to check the calendar, check the diary, and if we can get down, we'll give us a shout, and we'll definitely be there. Yeah, absolutely.
Come to us, and we're coming to you.
Perfect. Do let us know.
Oh, please let us know because we'll come and say hi.
Yeah. Like the celebrities we are. Listen to us. We'll come and say hi. Yeah, it's basically like me and Rachel Daly, but
Getting myself
right. Oh yeah, that's why.
I was going to say you better like all of our stories after this, Minds. Just
it's basically the feeling I got when Gabby Nunes liked my story. That is the feeling you get.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tweet it out now and I'll get to this.
Please, do come and support us because we're still in the county cup as well, so we could have a final on our hands.
Oh yeah, let me see all that.
You're going to make it happen.
Yeah,
We'll definitely make it happen. Well, we are incredibly impressed, and we've definitely got, like Tracey said, another club that we're going to follow. And I know a lot of people for the player of the match votes, we were all voting as well, and we just really got into it. Yeah, George, we did vote.
I'm surprised I know, it's great. Oh, to be fair, player of the match, we get this little teddy, and we call him Captain Gas. He's the mascot for Bristol Rovers.
Amazing.
So yeah, if you get him, you get to take him home for the week, and then you have to take him around. So that was really fun.
Perfect. No, we've absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and talk to us tonight. Best of luck for the rest of the season, and stay in touch, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Yeah, good luck for the rest of your season. Look, I hope your results start to pick up. But it's like yesterday was a good.
Well, yeah, it was good. It was. It's 5-0. I don't know. Yeah, it was 5-0, wasn't it?
Wrong team. No, wrong team.
No, it was 2-0. It was 2-0.
Completely wrong. It was 1-1.
So we also have jobs. That's why it's quite hard. Right, we had a game. Rachel Daly scored though.
She did.
That's like an object. No, because I saw the tweet that said 3 goals in the new year because she scored 2 against us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it.
Well, it's a step in the right direction, you know. We wish you all the best, don't we?
Hopefully they pick up.
Better than nothing. A point is better than nothing.
To be honest, I can't lie. I did after the game. I followed Aston Villa. Obviously, I wasn't following before. I literally followed everyone, and now my feed is just full of Villa results. Clearly, not enough to.
Do you know what though? We like 11 unbeaten before we met Villa.
Yeah. Just take us out of it. Just it's fine. You keep.
Why is it going?
We lost. Yeah.
But no, thank you very much for listening. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. We've absolutely loved it. Yeah, thank you, and we'll keep in touch, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.